Welcome to Trabach in Germany. We're here with Port de Polch in the harbour, the local harbour in Trabach. We've got a Nimbus 405. We're going to have a look at the Yachtcontroller products today. So if you come on board, let's have a look at the setup here on the Nimbus. Sitting at the helm, we have installed the Volvo Penta 2 engines. This is the EVC-E, the latest control head. The Yachtcontroller products we've installed on this boat is the joystick. Here the display enables you to choose between the joystick function and the remote control. The two remote controls we have installed on this boat are the dual buttons, and the latest product in the Yachtcontroller palette is the Enjoy. The Enjoy has an integrated joystick, as you can see here, which has been a development of the original product which we've been producing for 15 years, and the joystick system which is installed on this boat. And of course this was the next product to come in line, was the people were asking for a joystick on the remote. So we're really happy with this product. It enables the driver to always have one hand free. And it makes simple docking for one person. Mooring the boat, it becomes very easy and minimises all stress. For people using locks, also a very nice feature to have on the boat, especially if you're alone. You can always be outside keeping an eye on the stern and bow of the boat. And you've got the two engines and the bow and stern thruster under control. Of course, on your boat you wouldn't have two remote controls necessarily, and there's also a smart Yachtcontroller which runs on one frequency, but most people like to have the safety of the two bands of communication. And here we can select whether we want to use the joystick or the remote control. In order to engage the remote control, I select on the panel here, it's engaged. We let it know that we're here. And now essentially I have the two engines, the bow thruster and the stern thruster, under my control. Okay, a classic situation here. We've come down, we've started the engines. We're looking at taking the boat out. The lines are still on. We've got a little bit of wind coming from the entrance of the harbour, so that the boat's starting to move away from the dock. And just show you the function on the Enjoy, we can isolate the bow and stern thruster on the remote here by pushing the button on top. And then by doing that, I'm sure that the engines won't engage, which is a really nice feature. So I can bring in the bow of the boat there, or push backwards for the stern, and then I've got no problems taking the lines off in windy conditions like this. So at the moment you've got a nice view over the boat. Now I'm starting to use the engines. Now we can use just two engines, one forward, one back. No problem rotating the boat. We can go back the other way. Okay, welcome back to the helm. We just made a quick stop at the dock to pick up Jimmy, the cameraman. And as you can see, we just showed you some of the features of the Enjoy remote control. Fantastic product, very easy to use, one hand free all the time, and it's an easy changeover to the joystick system here, which some people also enjoy having. We simply go to the display here and select the joystick, and in this case we've got the Volvo EVC-E control head, which enables us to lay the levers down. It does exactly what you think it will do. If you rotate the joystick a little bit, you've got the two engines working, so we'll just rotate slowly here. When you rotate the joystick further, the bow and stern thruster engage. If I want the stern to move out by itself, I can push backwards with the joystick and the stern moves faster. Now I want the stern to straighten up so that we're facing into the wind, and there we go. Like the remote controls, you've got the ability to isolate the bow and stern thruster. On the remote control, as we said before, you push the button and then the engines can't engage. On the joystick, a similar feature, you've got buttons on the top. If I push the button and push to the front, the engines didn't engage at all. If I make that same motion without pushing the button, then the engines engage and you start moving forward. We're out in the middle of the entrance to the harbour. Typical situation, I guess we've got 20 knots of wind here today, and it's a day where the Yachtcontroller is good, but we want a little more power. So what Yachtcontroller has done is introduced an acceleration function on the remote controls. So let's go outside and we'll have a look at how the remote control works. You can see here with the S button here, once I apply this, we can now get 30% more power out of the two Volvo Penta engines here, and that's what we're going to show you today, which makes perfect sense in windy conditions like we have here today. Two engines forward. We've got the setting today at 30% more power over 10 seconds, so you can feel it's gradually speeding up. So for those of you who are asking yourself how you use the Yachtcontroller in windy conditions, this is definitely the way to go with the acceleration function. You can change on the display, you can have 20% more power, 10% more power, and change the time that it takes to speed up.